Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Lauren. I'm really happy that you found me. If you are an existing subscriber and you've just seen this video pop up, hello, I'm back. I used to post to this channel with kind of food hauls, what I eat in a day sort of videos, all that kind of thing, some family lifestyle content like mummy vlogging. And I've had a huge break, a big gap in filming. I hadn't posted anything for well over a year, so if you're still here and you're still subscribed, thank you so much. I have deleted all my old content because it is so far out of date at this point, but I'm starting afresh for 2024. There will be all that stuff returning to my channel, so my supermarket hauls, food shopping, vlogging around food, family, lifestyle, all those things. But I am embarking on a weight loss regime, journey, whatever you want to call it at the moment, and that's what prompted me to start filming again, because I thought I would like to document that journey. So I will start off by telling you a little bit about the history of my weight, fluctuations, pregnancies. I'll give you a few numbers, so you may see me glancing down at my phone to help me out with those. And then we will move on to day one of me returning to my fitness pal to track my food. So where should we start? Let's start from like 10-11 years ago. That is how long I have been using my fitness pal to track my weight. Over the years, I have had long periods of like several years, multiple years at a time, where I have also religiously tracked my food on my fitness pal, but that did go out of the window when I had my first child, and I sort of briefly have returned to it for short spurts, but I haven't fully committed to tracking my food. And even less so have I committed to like crunching macro numbers and things like that. I used to track all my macros religiously. I used to be a gym bunny, constantly in the gym. Yeah, none of that has happened for years, and I'm never going to have the same amount of time to work out as I used to, being that I now have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. But I do want to get back to being fit and healthy and carving out some time for dedicated exercise. So we will start at the beginning. Like I said, this is about 10 or 11 years worth of tracking my weight on my fitness pal. I'll pop it up on the screen so that you can see it. And in that time, you can see that like at the beginning of that time frame, I was sort of hovering a lot between around the like 105 and 110 sort of pound mark. I track my weight in pounds, and just for reference, I'm 5'3", so although that may sound like quite a low weight, I am a small person. I'm not very tall. I'm also quite small boned. For example, my feet are a UK size 2.5. Nightmare for buying adult sized high heels, but yes, that gives you an idea of how small I am, like frame wise, because even people that are the same height are not necessarily the same sort of frame. We all carry weight differently, and I don't look good carrying extra weight because yes, I have like quite a slight frame, tiny hands, tiny feet, small stature. I don't feel comfortable carrying excess weight, and when I do, a lot of it sits like around my middle and my arms. So it'll like sit on my arms, it will sit like around my stomach and around the back of my torso as well. You get those like lovely rolls at the back. We all know what they are. I don't like it. So yes, while I am by no means huge, I am currently sat about a stone heavier than I want to be. Not sure that I will ever get down to like that 105, 110 range again. You know, I did look pretty skinny then. I will pop up some pictures. So during my fluctuations around that sort of weight, my lowest was 98, and I was around 98 pounds for a while. You can see at that point, like my arms particularly were very skinny. I didn't have a lot of muscle tone. I was just thin. And yeah, I was like that for a number of years. 98 was the lowest number, and I sort of was between 98 and like 105 pounds for a long time. I then started getting into fitness. So I started a new job, and I was working in the fitness industry in like a marketing capacity, but it meant that I was constantly in and out of gyms. All the offices that I was working in were based inside of gyms. So it was so incredibly easy to just go get a workout, like snuck in the middle of the day, attend a class on my lunch break. And I was probably doing exercise classes or some form of gym work, whether it was like actually lifting weights or other resistance training with the machine, some cardio. I did a lot of yoga classes. I was probably doing at my peak sort of between 6 and 8 dedicated sessions of exercise every single week. And on top of that, I would obviously be generally being active as well, like out and about, doing quite a bit of walking. I used to do quite a bit of horse riding, not done that for many years, but yeah, I was always like fairly active. When I got into fitness and into the gym, I started paying more attention, not just to eating like little amounts of food to basically keep my weight down, but on like fueling my body for those workouts. My shape did change, but when I got up to like 115 pounds, that was sort of my happy place. I felt fit, I felt healthy, I felt like I looked pretty good, and that was a really good weight for me, and that was around about the weight I was before I got pregnant with baby number one. So with baby number one, these particular photos happen to be timestamped, and these are like a couple of months before I got pregnant with baby number one. I was at about 112 to 113 pounds, and I remember that I did put on a couple of pounds before I then got pregnant. So yeah, this is kind of how I was just before baby came on board. My pregnancy weight went up to 159 by the time I was full term, and then I got back down to around 124 pounds was the lowest weight that I dropped down to after baby number one. That was the weight I was when I had pregnancy number two. It's easy to see where I was pregnant on this graph because you can see the two big spikes. And even though I started that pregnancy like a good 9 or 10 pounds heavier than my first pregnancy, my overall weight actually peaked at the same number. So with baby number two, I also reached a weight of 159 pounds before giving birth. That then crashed straight back down. And at one point after baby number two, I did get down to 119 pounds. But then you can see on the graph, I have not had a baby number three, and yet my weight started to creep back up. So in that few years after having baby number two, with two children to look after, a lot of stuff going on, I wasn't particularly making very healthy eating choices. I was like feeding healthy food to my kids and making sure that they got all the good stuff, but I was very inclined to grabbing things on the go, doing easy dinners, shoving stuff in the oven, because a lot of the time I just felt really exhausted. I think we can all relate. And yes, I wasn't going to the gym, I wasn't working out. I've literally not done any dedicated exercise for so long until my partner of 14 years and myself decided suddenly that we were just going to get married. We have talked about it for so many years. One thing and another has just led to it not actually being organised and happening, and we just decided at this point we want to do it. We want it to be formalised, be official. So we gave ourselves 6 weeks to plan a wedding. We booked the day. It was very small, very intimate, but we only gave ourselves 6 weeks. And that wasn't a lot of time, but I did rapidly shed a stone. So I had been sat, my weight had crept back up to about 141, and I had already lost a little bit of that before we set the date for the wedding. But from when we set the wedding date to the wedding itself, which was in early May 2024, I very quickly lost around about a stone in that like 5 or 6 weeks before the wedding. And to do that, I went and signed up for gym membership at the local gym and just committed to going to loads of classes. So every day I would drop the kids off at school, and as soon as the school run was finished, I would go do a workout class that would set me up for the day. I was eating well, watching my eating. I was tracking my food on my MyFitnessPal. And yes, it works. And the beauty of tracking for me on MyFitnessPal versus like Weight Watchers, Slimming World, or any like particular diet, I like the fact that if you're just tracking calories and macros, it's very easy with the MyFitnessPal app. For starters, it's very easy. Most foods are scannable, and if it's not scannable, you can input your own data for foods that you can't find already on the database. It's very easy, but also it's very flexible. If you're just trying to hit numbers for like protein, carbs, and fats, you can eat whatever you want. I could still, in the run up to my wedding, have a burger night with my family, or we could go out and grab a McDonald's if we happened to be starving on the way back from a day out. We could just stop there. I could still eat things that aren't really diet food as long as I was tracking them. So yes, I know that it works, it does work, it's just about consistency. And with the wedding behind us, after I had shed that stone, I have then just sort of hovered, like the gym membership got immediately cancelled, but that was always the intention. I had always intended to just sign up to the gym before the wedding, because if I was paying the extortionate membership, I knew that that would make me go and use the classes. I knew I wasn't going to continue with that membership because unfortunately where I live there are no budget gyms or good value gyms. There is just one gym. We're a very small village and you are sort of over a barrel to pay their prices. Also, because it is the only gym, it's very crowded, there's not that much equipment and you can barely get onto anything. I really just only wanted it for the classes to do myself a bit of a bridal boot camp, so it was always the intention to cancel it. However, I did intend to pick up with workouts at home. So I wanted to carry on doing like Les Mills workouts. I subscribed to the Les Mills app. So this was back in May when I cancelled my gym membership. We're now in July and I've done like two of the workouts when I first signed up for it. I also get the Fit app for free through my life insurance, so I have access to that as well. So I have two like absolutely amazing sort of fitness extravaganza, like, you know, dip into it, do whatever I want. So many different workouts of so many different types across those two platforms. There's yoga, there's lifting, like anything that I could possibly want to do. There's even spin workouts on there, and I do have a spin bike because we do actually have a gym at home. It's just very dusty and currently unused. It is primarily my husband's gym, but I used to use it in the past. And again, so I've got all the equipment, I've got all the stuff. What I'm lacking is the motivation. Hopefully this video will help me, and I hope that you enjoy watching me document my journey. It might give you some inspiration because I will be showing everything that I eat. I'll be showing you all my tracking in my Fitness Pal, show you what I'm logging. At the moment, I don't have a diet plan. I've just set some very loose macros and I'm starting with my carbs like moderately high because it will be a massive shock to my system to just like, you know, go for really strict numbers. So at the moment, my calorie allowance has been set in my app for around 1,410 calories a day, and I am shooting for macros, I think of like 40 for carbs, like 40% carbs, and the rest is a split between fat and protein. I've not got it in front of me. I will pop it on the screen at some point, but I'm shooting for about 100 grams of protein a day. Like that is my big number at the moment, the one that I'm focusing on. Like I want to hit around 100 grams of protein a day, and then my carbs and fat, if they fluctuate, then that sort of is what it is at the moment. I'm not going to be too strict when I'm just getting going again, but I do want to try and keep my protein level quite high, and 100 grams is reasonable for me considering that at the moment I'm not training, I'm not really doing much exercise. So that is a little bit about my weight history. Like I said, I am not a huge person. I'm not massively overweight. I don't even class as overweight, but I am not happy with how I am. Like I've lost all my muscle tone. I don't feel fit. I'm not exercising, and I used to really love and enjoy my exercise, and I enjoyed it when I got back into it for the wedding. I just very quickly fell off the bandwagon again because we had a lot of things going on, and then before I knew it, the school holidays were upon us. I did consider waiting until the kids' holiday was out of the way before I start this new sort of chapter, and I just thought no, because if I wait until the kids are back at school, it's going to be September. The entire summer will be over, and I would have felt like I can't wear half my clothes for the entirety of the summer. So even if I don't manage to get my summer body back until the end of summer, at least then all I need to do is try and maintain it, work on it and improve it, rather than be starting from scratch in September. So that is where we're at. For my wedding, I got down to 124 pounds. So that is the lowest weight that I've been in a really long time. Since then, since I stopped the exercising, stopped the tracking, I have gained 3 pounds. So I am starting this journey at 127.6 pounds. I will show you on the screen. My scale connects to the app on my phone. So when I did a weigh-in to start this journey, which is starting on the 28th of July 2024, Sunday, yes, that is my Sunday weigh-in number. And I'm going to end this video with just showing you my day one. So this is day one of tracking food. I will show you everything that I've eaten, what the calories were. I will give you a roundup of my macros at the end of the day. And there will be like a little bit of my exercise thrown in there, although at the moment my exercise is mostly revolving around just going out, moving my body, being active with the kids. So I've not done any sort of scheduled exercise recently, but I'm doing a lot of running around after them. I'm keeping an eye on my step count. Obviously everything counts, even if it's not a dedicated gym session. I hope that you enjoy. Day one will be on this video, on my intro video, and then I'm hoping to do a video every couple of days. So I'll probably do like day 2 through to 4, and then 5 through to 7. So yeah, every few days I'm planning to bundle together like a what I ate for 2 or 3 days at a time, and hopefully I will see some progress. Fingers crossed. It is lovely to be back filming again, although it does feel very strange. If you have enjoyed this video and you want to come along with me and see how much I can lose, see how long it takes me, then please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon. So here we go with day one of my weight loss journey vlog starting July 28th. I jumped on the scale to do my starting point weigh-in, currently at 127.6 pounds. My scale does pull through quite a few other figures, body fat, etc. I don't pay too much attention to those because I'm not entirely convinced that these at-home scales are accurate for that kind of thing, but this gives me a good idea if things are moving in the right direction. I then decided to do my waist measurement. I've not measured all my other measurements, but I did do my waist, and I am currently at 29, and I am pulling that measure pretty tightly. Yes, so I'm at 29. You can just see that I don't have any of the tone that I used to have. The stretch marks are from my pregnancies. They are unavoidable, but I can definitely improve my shape. I would like to see some little abs again. Here is the eating. So I started off day one, morning one, with a smoothie mix with dragon fruit, strawberries, blueberries, loads of yummy stuff. Obviously it's quite high on carbs given that it's all fruit, but it's all super healthy and really, really delicious. I mixed that with some of my clear whey isolate from my protein in the peach tea flavour. This is quite a light protein in the sense that it is like 20 grams of protein for every half a gram of carbs, so pretty good. Obviously I am upping the carbs a little by adding in my fruit mix, but it just makes it taste extra delicious, and overall the calories are still so low that I did not feel bad about it. You can see that I'm weighing everything as I go, and then I just set the scale back to 0 and I log it in my FitnessPal as I'm weighing on the scale, just to keep track of everything that is going into that smoothie. Really super easy. If you've not used my FitnessPal, I'm sure many of you have if you're watching this video, but if you haven't, it really is super easy. It makes it really, really easy to track everything that you're having. And yeah, so this was yummy, yummy breakfast. My breakfast came in at 134 calories to start off my day, and both foods were scannable, so that was lovely and easy. And this is how I was looking as we headed out. So I had already done almost 2,500 steps for the day by 11 a.m, burnt approximately 780 calories apparently, and we decided to head on out to a farm park that we have a pass for some fun with the kids. So this was my sort of exercise for the day. So by no means have I got my exercise routine back on track yet, but I am trying to stay active, and days out like this really do help. I get so many steps in when we go to places like this. We had a lovely walk through the woodland trail, then went down to the fields, which is quite a good walk. All the sort of play stuff is located at the far end of the farm, so you do have to walk quite far to get to it. We did zip lining, and obviously I was backwards and forwards pulling those up for the kids. Daisy is pretty good at pulling her own. Hadley is not. He's only very small. I had 1 or 2 goes myself, and the rest of the time I was just going up and down, dragging the little button lift for Hadley so that he could have his fun and games. After we had finished with the zip lining, we then headed over to the sledges that are just alongside. And again, it was a lot of repetitive back and forth walking for me to drag the sledges up and down so that they can have fun. And those things, I can tell you, are not light. They are pretty heavy and pretty awkward to pull and push around. Go-karting is always one of the favourites for the kids, and I did join in the beautiful sunshiny weather, did about 4 or 5 laps I think before I sat and spectated. So a little bit of a light leg workout for the day, plenty of pedalling. I definitely did work up a sweat because it was quite warm, so I wasn't doing it for very long, but I could definitely feel that it was doing something. We did some bouncing on the trampolines, and I did join in with that. I don't have any footage of me on the trampolines because I didn't want to drop my phone, but after that we went to have our snack. I had a raw protein flapjack. Macros are quite good. You know, it's not the lowest calorie snack, but my breakfast was a really light breakfast. So I had that along with some Waves sweet chili multigrain crisps, which are one of my favourite little snacks to grab on the go. The kids had a proper lunch, so I just wanted to have something with me to eat while they were having their lunch so that I didn't feel deprived, basically. I didn't want to sit there and watch them eating. 366 calories for my snack, and I enjoyed every single bite. It was yummy. Kids were being cheeky monkeys, having lots of fun with their lunch. We had a really, really good afternoon. Really enjoyable, so much fresh air, and they're just so happy. It's really, really nice to be spending so much time with them in the holidays. Like, I think it's so easy for me to forget that this is how it was all the time before school started. I was at 5,100 steps by the time we left the farm park, went home and had my spiced chickpea and spinach soup, high in fibre, so that really helped with my fibre intake for the day. It was delicious. I had it on the table within 5 minutes of getting back. Super easy snack for me and low calorie, considering that my snack at the farm park was quite a calorie laden snack. I refilled my sugar-free squash bottle, so that was my second bottle for the day, refilled at 10 to 3. So lunch, 176 calories, and then dinner, my last meal of the day. The kids and Adam had already eaten at this point. I ate quite late because I'd had my soup quite late, so I wasn't ready to eat when I cooked for everyone else. And I ended up opting for a tuna and sweet corn jacket potato with salad cream as opposed to mayo. I like both, so when I'm trying to be calorie conscious, I usually do reach for the salad cream, and that particular one is 30% reduced fat as well. Bit of black pepper in there, all mixed, and then I had that on a decent sized jacket potato that I did just microwave for ease. I also sprinkled it with one of my favourite herbs or spices, which is the Spice Shed Jurassic Fries Mix. It is amazing for anything potato based. I absolutely love it. So when my potato was almost cooked, I just sprinkled some on while it had its last few minutes in the microwave. When I was ready to eat it, obviously I just fluffed up my potato a little bit. I did not add butter. That was not actually a dieting choice, but just my personal preference. I very rarely put butter on my jacket potatoes. I just find that by the time I've got whatever filling I'm having on there, the butter can just be a bit overwhelming and make everything a bit too soggy for my taste. So that was my dinner, 533 calories in total. Not a terrible lot of vegetables on the plate, I will admit that. It wasn't a great day for veg, but we are quite wiped out and I need to do a shop. So, summary for the day. This kind of shows the calories per meal. I didn't have snack number 2, which would be an after lunch snack, and I didn't have a dessert after dinner, which I count as snack number 3 in my diary. So yeah, that's sort of my calorie distribution for the day. These were my overall macros by the time I had finished eating for the day, so I wasn't far off my 100 gram protein goal, didn't quite make it, but I was well under on my fat. My fibre was amazing for the day, which was down to the chickpea soup and also the protein bar that I had. They were both fibre-rich foods. And overall, my macros were not terrible, not exactly to plan. You know, I had a lot more carbs percentage-wise than I would usually have, but overall, it was quite a low-calorie day. You know, I ended the day
on 1,209 calories, which was under my 1,410 target, and I finished the day on over 10,000 steps, 4.5 miles walked, and an estimated calorie burn of 1,883. I think that was a successful day 1. Join me in my next video to see days 2 through to 4. Hopefully I will be posting that in the next couple of days. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.